You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, GH fans, Belinda from Soap Dirt here. And with Jason Morgan back on Monday, March 4th, Carly Spencer's relationship is getting rocky, and we've got Nina Reeves vowing revenge. I think things are going to get really, really interesting soon. I know in the comeback promo, that little short promo they made, it was Steve Burton, Carly actress Laura Wright, and Sam actress Kelly Monaco, but that doesn't really mean anything about what he's going to be doing and who he's going to be doing it with when he returns, because they didn't have his return plot written. You know, we're going to dig in and I'll tell you just why you shouldn't rely too heavily on that little 3-door promo and what Nina may do once Stone Cold is back in Port Charles. But first, please click subscribe if you haven't already. So we've got just a few episodes before Steve Burton's March 4th return as Jason Morgan. Meanwhile, there's a lot of movement in storylines that we know he's going to be tied to. That includes Sonny, Carly, Drew, Nina, even Ava. I'm just wondering if Nina might latch onto Jason's return as part of her payback plan on those that she feels deserve it. Now, I'm not saying anybody actually deserves Nina's wrath, so please don't yell at me calling a Nina lover. I'm saying she says they deserve her wrath. She said she's coming after them. Meanwhile, Carly does not seem to want to keep going at this revenge game with her, and she keeps pushing back on Drew, who keeps not listening. Carly just wants to forget that Nina even exists, and that is a big part of her increasing disagreements with Drew Cain that are going to keep spiraling up this week in advance of Jason's return. The two who seem to want payback are Nina and Drew. I've actually laughed at the number of people on Soap social media who've said that those two should just have hate sex and get it over with. You never know. I do think that Drew would rather choke her than get her into bed, but I want to talk about whether Nina might make a play for Jason Morgan once he's back, knowing it would infuriate many of the people who hate her and her estranged husband. You know, Sonny Corinthos just slapped Nina with divorce papers. She was completely blindsided by them, even though Sonny made it clear she can't come home. He locked her out. He blocked her on the phone, all that good stuff. And then this week, Nina demanded, that he talk to her, and she's a little jealous about his whole thing with Ava, and Sonny is basically chewing her out over her behavior. She has to defend herself. She wants him to admit that he still loves her. Sonny is done, at least for now. Personally, I just think Nina should tell Sonny to kick rocks, but she is scrambling, trying to hang on. It's not going to work out for her. And in the end, if he's not her husband, it's not his business, but I do think he's going to wind up on her revenge list too. Just because he's hurt her, and we know Nina doesn't behave very well when she has been hurt. So Sonny might find himself on Nina's hit list, and if he does anything with Ava, anything past co-parenting, his estranged wife may explode. As for Carly, she quit Crimson. She wants to bow out of the feud. I don't see Nina letting go of her side of the vendetta, though, even if Carly's not playing along. Meanwhile, we have Jason Morgan on his way back, this assassin that's killing mob bosses happening, so many other issues. Many people that Jason cares about hate Nina, and she returns those feelings. These include Carly, her son Michael Corinthos, so would Nina pursue a rebound fling with Jason as part of her revenge plan on Sonny and Carly and Michael? Absolutely. She would do that. Let's not forget, when Nina unhinges, she goes all the way, and she has got a history of dodgy behavior. Plus, when Jason returns, the women that he has romanced before are all in committed relationships. We have Sam McCall happily shacking up with her boyfriend Dante Falconeri. We have Carly in a committed thing with Drew, although things are a little shaky. And we have Dr. Finn, Medicine Man, paired with Liz Weber, although I frankly don't feel much chemistry there. I know some of you guys really like it. Of those three couples, I feel like Sam and Dante are the most stable right now. And then in second place, Liz and Finn, and then last place, Carly and Drew. So yeah, Jason's really not coming back to any single and available exes unless Drew and his crazy eyes and fits of rage ruin what he has with Carly by the end of this week, just before his twin brother gets back to General Hospital. With Jason alone and Nina alone and seething over Drew firing her and Carly taking her place, even though she's quit. So yeah, I could totally see Nina making a play for Jason. But at the same time, I would also expect Sonny, Michael, and Carly to warn Jason off of her if Nina does try and make a play for him. In a way, though, Nina slipping into Jason's sheets would kind of be the perfect revenge because of how many people it would enrage. Drew would probably go nuts about it because he despises Nina, and the idea of his twin playing hide the salami with her might push him completely over the edge, and he's barely hanging on as it is. We know there's no love lost between Jason and Drew. Before Jason's death, remember, he and Drew were kind of making an effort to be more brotherly. They were building a treehouse together on the Q property before Jason went to Greece and supposedly died. So that vibe could be very interesting. Michael sees Jason as, a quasi-father figure. I mean, when Michael was newborn, Jason was the one raising him, if you remember, because Carly had that bad postpartum depression. She couldn't cope, and Jason stepped in, and she had been lying about who was the dad anyway. So he and Michael always had such a strong relationship, and Michael would be so mad if Nina got her claws into Jason. And I can just see Nina smirking about it as payback for Michael blocking her from Willow and the grandkids. Sonny would totally lose it. Just because he doesn't want Nina doesn't mean he wants her moving on to, somebody that was once his best friend, especially not while the ink is still wet on their divorce papers. And her moving on with his former right-hand man, Jason, that would drive him up a wall. If Sonny is not already boinking Ava soon, he might for his own revenge if Nina gets too close to Jason. Last but by no means least, Carly would go insane if Jason slept with Nina. OMG. I mean, Jason's been Carly's biggest defender since she came on the scene back in 1996, and she and Jason had fallen fully in love just before Sonny came back from the dead. Remember, they got married at the house, and it wasn't just a marriage of business or mob convenience. It was love. They were just about to consummate things when Sonny walked in and interrupted. And then Sonny wound up with Nina, and of course Jason died, and it was just all so danged messy. So yeah, it would drive Carly absolutely insane if Nina moved in on Jason as soon as he gets back to Port Charles. Now, I'm not saying Jason would jump in bed with Nina if he knew it would anger people that he cares about, but Stone Cold might wind up in her sheets not knowing how much all these people hate her. You just never know. Remember, she fell in bed with Valentine Cassadine the first time she met him in the hotel hallway. So something like that could happen again. Plus, we have no idea what frame of mind Jason Morgan's in when he returns after being MIA for 2 years, but I'm expecting lots more spoilers for his return by the end of this week. So it's definitely time to get excited about this comeback. Do you think Nina will seduce Jason as part of her payback plan, or at least try to make it happen? Drop your comments below. Please click subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely come back soon. We are here talking GH 7 days a week, and as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.